Articulation Radio. Articulation. Salutations! Welcome to another exciting episode of Articulation Radio. I am your hostess, the eternally grateful Goddess Sage. You know how we do things here at Articulation Radio. We will kick off the top of the day's episode by taking a quick glance at the news headlines. And today's news segment is sponsored by bepublished.org.
These are three of the news headlines and events I saw today, Thursday, July 8th, 2021, when visiting EliteValuesNews.com on your behalf. The Writers Consortium has released a line of password trackers and coloring books you can order from Amazon today. Haiti is under the world's eyes as it vamps its security for its hospitalized First Lady post the assassination of the president yesterday by gunmen posing as American DEA agents. And Me and My Best Friend's community event takes place 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, July 31st at People's Park at 91st and Buffalo in Chicago, Illinois. Those are three of the news headlines and events I saw today when visiting EliteValuesNews.com on your behalf. Be sure to head on over any minute within any hour to check out the news in any category because, as you know, so much happens in this world of ours, and the staff at Elite Values News makes it a point to keep you abreast of as much as possible. Check out the headlines any minute you get a chance. Head on over right now. I'm Joaquin Mann reporting live.
Looking for the latest news? Visit Elite Values News. EliteValuesNews.com has all the latest news and information. Check out the headlines hourly. EliteValuesNews.com. Visit now.
Do you want to be published? Are you looking for a high-quality, low-cost way to be published with a fast turnaround? Visit bepublished.org to publish today. www.bepublished.org. bepublished.org. Publish today. Books, movies, and music.
Listeners, we love you, we hear you, and I am definitely glad to be here with you today on another fresh episode of Articulation Radio. And on today's episode, we have for you not only some great music from indie artists, we also have a topic in store as well as some conversation. We're going to have an interview with a doer, with a move maker, and as you already know, somebody that you may or may not already know about. So maybe in addition to giving you some new music, I can also give you a new person as well as a new product or a new service. I'm not going to tell you what, but, well, not yet. I'll tell you after I play a couple of songs. Let's roll with one now.
Guess I've had enough, done it all. done it. Every time I try to know how I finally caught your love enough. Oh, enough. And every Insta flick, she's hanging with her clique. I try to block her, but sometimes I'm weak and look at it. Smoking mirror life, she's getting high on lights. Couldn't offer her them things, I'm not that type, no. Used to call you mine, I'm the one who got your back, but it won't help this time. I guess I've had enough, turn it off, baby, bye, bye, bye. Guess I've had enough, after all, trying to make it right. Guess I've had it, done it, every time I try to know how I finally caught your love enough. Oh, enough. I believed in love, but you're impossible, so impossible. And somewhere you lost my heart, you're so trustable. You gotta listen, girl. I guess I've had enough, turn it off, baby, bye, bye, bye. Yes, I've had enough, after all, trying to make it right. Yes, I've had it, done it, every time I try to know how I finally caught your love enough. Oh,
ARTistreview.com. All artists need a platform. The Artist Review makes sure you have the one you need to put your work in front of your fans. ARTistreview.com. Artist, REVUE.com. From arranging art exhibitions to musical performances to radio interviews to so much more, the Artist Review helps your work get seen. ARTistrevue.com. ARTistreview.com.
I guess I've been a
got everybody else. Behind the phone. Come and mess with me.
PeopleWarmer.com. Book your travel today. PeopleWarmer.com. Wherever you want to stay. PeopleWarmer.com. Book everything you need. PeopleWarmer.com. Go ahead whenever you please. And if you need advertising, marketing, and promotions, add on an S and head on over to PeopleWarmers.com. That's PeopleWarmers.com. PeopleWarmers.com for all your media relations, public relations, marketing, advertising, and promotional needs. PeopleWarmers.com.
Today's episode of Articulation Radio, which is titled Second Shot at Life, was kicked off with Had Enough by Kelly Engstrom featuring Jimmy Burney. And that was followed by Little Bluebird by Flojo Mills. Now, before I play Doing While You're Chewing by yours truly, Goddess Sage, one of the songs from my instrumental CD, Earth Birth, my third CD project that came out back in May for my birthday, along with my 48th book, Fighting Love. You have to be sure to grab that up, Fighting Love by Mylia Jaza, as well as the CD, Earth Birth by Goddess Sage. But, of course, before I play Doing While You're Chewing and I bring on the interview with this special person, let me tell you a little bit about the reason why we titled this episode Second Shot at Life. Not just because of the fact that I want you to be sure to listen up and learn all about Jim Utsler's second version of his book, well, his revised version of his book, Pura Vida. It came out back in 2012, so I'll be talking to him about what are some of the things that are different about this new book, as well as in general. You know, we're going to be talking about Pura Vida, as well as other things too, but it's also, I want you to be willing to give things that deserve a second pass, that second pass. Give things that deserve a second look, that second look. And of course, give things also that deserve that second possibility, that second possibility. Because as we know, if we have an opportunity to do something, even if the first time around we're like, I did that, it didn't work, I'll use Mary Kay as an example, or, just any MLM, or whatever it is you can dream of, if you're like, I would love to do that again. I feel like it can work out, but no, I tried it before and it seems good, but no, I encourage you to go ahead and give it a second chance. Try it again. If there even is a love that you said, no, I am not going to go down that road again. I'm not going to, but you still feel drawn to that person. Go ahead and give that friendship or that relationship a second shot. Not saying to be trying to get with that person what you already did not have with them before, or what you had and they didn't appreciate or whatever. But to at least have it to where there is a forgiveness there. And that would be that second shot for you at that closure and being able to move on and better your life. But yes, anyway, no false expectations, period, no matter what's going on in our lives. But I want you to make sure that no matter what, you give yourself a second shot at life. If you're like, look, things just don't work out for me. Oh, I'm unlucky. Quit saying that. How about saying things are going to start working out for me, or I make sure things work out for me, or I do what I'm able to do, or I am lucky, or I create my own luck, or I take back my power. Say, things other than the things that you are going through that you don't want to keep going through. Spend your time talking instead about the things you do want to go through. And even when you have situations where people are blowing up, you guys are, having these arguments, whatever. Yes, state your truth. Don't keep repeating and going round and round with that person. They can stay there in that place if they want to. But yeah, find your peace even in those moments, and make sure that you speak what is fortification over your life. Of course, after you've addressed whatever, but yeah, make sure that you don't let anything or anyone tear you down or keep you down. Not even yourself. So always be willing to give yourself that second chance to achieve the great things and to experience the wonderful things in life that you actually want. Okay. So now, people, we're going to see whether even Mr. Utsler can give you a bit of info on that. So let's see how much stuff we can pick Jim's brain for. So hang tight. We're going to be talking to the author, Jim Utsler, regarding his book, Pura Vida, as well as playing a few more cuts for you. So hold on, babies.
Do you frequently shop online and you're looking for a new place to shop? Join the club, JeffersonTaylor.club, where models, designers, inventors, and other creators offer customers the best products at fair prices. Jefferson Taylor, JeffersonTaylor.club.
You are listening to Articulation Radio. Head on over to articulationmedia.club and let us know your thoughts.
Phone lines are open right now at Articulation Radio. Call 312-899-6237. That's 312-899-6237.
Have you always wanted to start a business but can't seem to get it off the ground? Need help building a website? Contact The Conglomerate, 972-880-8316, or visit theconglomerate.work, 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 972-880-8316. Start your new business today.
would like more information on how you can be an eyelash artist, call us at 314-560-1641 or 888-585-LASH, lashingoutloudinc.com.
Articulation Radio people. We have a new, well, not really a new author, but he's new to Articulation Radio. And as you know, we always love not only welcoming doers, people who are going through and making things happen, but we especially love people who are exemplary, people who do the things that those of you say you want to do, but then you have a million excuses as to why. But then we have people who defy the odds. And they really either make you either accept that you're just blowing smoke up your own skirt or in somebody else's face. Otherwise, they make you be like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and do it because, yeah, I can do it. I just need to do it. People, we have Mr. Jim Utsler on the line with us, and he is the author of Pura Vida. And you have to go over to Amazon right now and get that book. And now some of you may already be a little familiar with it because, yes, this is the same Jim Utsler who put out Pura Vida back in 2012, but the book is being re-released, people, by Cresting Wave Publishing. Well, actually already has because it came out on June the 26th. And even though, yeah, we're here in the second week of July, we're still fresh. We're still new. And people, it's not too late for you to be sure to grab you up a copy. So first, let's welcome Mr. Jim. How you doing, Mr. Utsler?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me on today. I appreciate it.
Oh, we are definitely honored to have you on. And now tell us all about Pura Vida. Why did you write it in the first place? What is it about?
Well, what it's about, I'll tell you why I started writing it, which was I have a degree in creative writing, and I've been writing about technology for over 20 years now. And I needed to kind of stretch my creative wings a little bit. So I thought, well, what kind of book do I want to write? And I said, well, how about a revenge thriller? And it kind of went from there with the first sentence. And,
yeah, you're definitely a courageous man because, yeah, you went straight for the gusto. Like, what can I write? I'll do a mashup. Let me do a romantic thriller.
Well, yeah, you just have to do it sometimes. And
yes.
I'm glad I did. But in short, the book is about, kind of the cliched, burnt-out cop. But he's a cop who tries to do the right things, but he goes about it the wrong ways. In one situation, he actually ends up in prison where he makes yet another poor decision. And he gets out of there, goes to Costa Rica, where he makes more poor decisions with not good outcomes. And so it's kind of about this guy's grappling with, what the world is and how to best function in it, because it's a world of gray. There's really no black and white. So he's trying to figure that out. And so part of it takes place in Detroit and part in Costa Rica, as I mentioned. And as I said earlier, it's kind of a revenge thriller. And I don't want to give too much away, of course. But
oh, yes, definitely don't. Definitely. And do you have any upcoming events? Because people know they can grab it off of Amazon, as well as people you already know. His book is actually published worldwide. So really, not just Amazon. You can also get it from your local bookstore, your favorite bookstore. Just go in and tell them that you want Pura Vida. That's Pura, V as in Victor, I, D as in David, A, V-I-D-A, Pura Vida. And the name Jim, J-I-M, Utsler, U-T-S-L-E-R. And, of course, now you would want to, and even if you don't have both, as long as you can remember Jim Utsler, then you'll be able to get it done. Jim Utsler. You'll be able to get it done. That's U-T-S-L-E-R. And now, Jim, let me ask you real quick. Now, for people who are like, I would love to do that, but I don't think I have that courage as like you. Yeah, I want to try something new, but that's a big jump for me to go from being, a person in the science field or the tech field or math field into my playing around with these words and expressions and feelings and creative stuff. So I need for you to give me tips on, how you did it. What were some of the things that helped you do it? So for those that are trying to make the transition but feel like they can't, what tips will you give them to kind of help them tap into their creative side?
Well, I don't think people need to get a creative writing degree like that. All you have to do, I think, is just write and do a lot of it and become very good at it. And, where you can string a sentence together, a paragraph, and then a chapter, and then a book. And I was, I guess the guys were kind enough to allow me to get that experience through working as a writer. And over many years, and it's just home skills. And so I think you really have to do a lot of writing. Whether you do it on a schedule or not, I don't think it really matters. But
and that's true. They have to practice it.
Yeah, exactly. And if it's just a short story for yourself or poetry or whatever, just get into it. And you could have other people review it and get their feedback and incorporate that, or not. The main thing is just to do it and be excited about it.
And I know that there are people who want to reach out to you and things like that. I know you have a Facebook account and a LinkedIn account, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, and on both you're there under Jim Utsler? Or is it a different name that you're under? Is there a middle initial, or do you have the Arthur Pura Vida anywhere mentioned so they'll know what to check for?
I think it's Jim Utsler, actually.
Okay. All right. So very good. And do you have any upcoming events just in case people are like, I want an autographed copy of the book?
Not at this point, no. I'm looking for venues, actually. It's an exciting time. So.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And for you to be, I would say, re-releasing this work, especially right now, is, I would say, not only apropos, but truly symbolic as well. Because a lot of times people, there are things that they know need to be revisited, but they don't want to go through and do the work of going through and looking at that thing again and bringing it up to par, especially if they feel like, my time is already tight and I'll get around to it one day. And they keep putting it off. And I would imagine that even some people that have dealt with procrastination and other things. And even the character in your book probably, with all of his human traits, we may see some of those things as well. What was there that for you going through this process of re-releasing it, other than, of course, we know naturally there were some edits that you made on it that were given, but was there a new lesson learned this second time around that you didn't, of course, naturally the first time, totally different experience, but was there a new lesson learned this second time, or a new experience that you had to, a new thing that you had to overcome?
Yeah, which is being very critical of my work and not thinking it's perfect. And so I changed a few things to hopefully improve it. And I removed some words that I didn't think were necessary and might have been offensive. So, on second viewing, it's like that, let's change that. And I changed some sections too, not a whole lot, but the experience was great because I got to see it with new eyes, actually, because it had been a long time since I'd seen it. So
yes. And now, what is there, like, as far as, like, the next thing that you have on the horizon or the agenda? Do you have any other upcoming projects that you're working on that they need to be keeping their ears and eyes peeled for?
Yeah, as you mentioned, I'm working with Cresting Waves Publishing, and I'm doing a sequel to Pura Vida, as well as possibly a third. So hopefully it'll be a trilogy. So I'm working on that, and I'm not sure when those are going to come out. It's still up in the air, but I have some ideas. In fact, I've started both of them, so it's just a matter of fleshing them out and getting some ideas down on paper, if you will. And of course, I freelance for it too, but it's not interesting. So, but that's what's coming up.
Very cool. And you had mentioned that you had done some writing and everything before, and that was kind of how you already had your own personal technique and down, and you were already comfortable with your own voice. Tell us a little bit about the writing that you've done before.
A lot of it is about technology, so it's not being
the technical writing?
It's not technical writing. I write about technology, and I have this conversation with my wife all the time. So if there's, it's kind of high level, about this new technology that's coming out. And
so you were writing articles about new technology.
Correct, exactly.
Okay.
And I've been doing that for 20-some years. Also did some writing for automotive companies and a bunch of other different places.
And how did you get into writing?
Well, I wanted to be a writer for a long time, since I was a teenager, at least. And I eventually ended up in the creative writing program at the University of Michigan. And as far as becoming an actual writer, I had to kind of take a long run, I guess. And I began working as a guy who had to run around campus and pick up mathematics and physics journals for an organization called Mathematical Reviews. And they had copy editors on staff. So that was kind of my goal, was to stop being a gopher and becoming a copy editor. Mm-hmm. Because I knew that would be, a great step in that direction. And then I started writing for their in-house newsletter. And then I found a job with another company, and they just kind of let me write, and which was great. I was still copy editing, but I was writing as well. So that was fun, and it was a great experience.
Yes. And now for those people who are like, I just think it's too late for me. I've written all these things. I've actually already have them written down in my notebook, or, even typed up, and still even have on a old floppy, or whatever. But, I just think that, it's too late for me and my time has passed. What would you say to those people who are senior citizens who have already done the work and everything, but they just feel like, it's too late? What would you say to kind of remind them that, nope, it's not?
It's not too late. In fact, I'm in my 50s, and this will be my first actually published book besides the self-published version I did. So it's never too late. And if you have stuff, submit it somewhere and see what happens. And, with age, they say comes wisdom. So
yes.
Take advantage of that. And it's never too late. So you don't have to be a young public.
Yes. Yes. And as far as the things that you see happening in society, for those listeners who are tuned in and they need a wise gentleman, a male voice to speak to things that they're seeing in society, to help them not only be able to stand firm with what they know they need to do, but to also be able to stand strong alongside people who need the assistance. What words do you have that you would like to share to the listeners about what's happening in society to keep them motivated?
Well, I think what's happening in society over the past, 5, 6 years is pretty horrible. And I think that it's incumbent upon us to really stand up for, especially I'm kind of an entitled white male. And if more people like me could get out there and support other groups and have a say in it, I think it means a lot, because what's happening now is it's pretty horrible. I'm kind of cynical anyways, but I just encourage people to, just get out there. And I live in a small town, so I try to get out there with, these high school students and help them when they're protesting and things like that. Hopefully things will improve for the better at some point, but
Yes.
again, I'm kind of cynical. But I'm still trying.
Yes, sir. Right. It's like, all we can do is how they say, you hope for the best, but, prepare for the worst. And, still at the end of the day, all we can do is try to encourage other people and motivate them. But it's really up to them to make those choices and to, not only self-regulate, but to also hold their own relatives accountable. And either, if someone in your family needs help or, needs to be held accountable, then make sure that they receive that punishment that they need, or make sure that they receive that institutionalization that they need. But let me ask you real quick, Mr. Utsler, what is the last thing that you would like to be sure? What is there that you have not yet had a chance to express to the listeners of Articulation Radio, Mr. Jim, that you would like to be sure to say to them right now?
Well, I want to go back to your point real quick about if there's somebody in your family or friend, circle, and you don't like what they're saying, call them out on it. And, people have to educate themselves. And but other than that, I just want to tell people that it's not a horrible world, and if you want to be a writer, you can certainly do it, and you just have to put yourself out there and just have fun while you're doing it too, and I guess try to enjoy life as much as you can also, and make the most of it, and be tenacious. So,
yes.
Pura vida.
Yes, Pura Vida, baby. You definitely said that, Mr. Utsler. You definitely said that. People, head on over right now to Amazon.com. Grab up your copy of this book. You want it. And you can also go over to Cresting Wave Publishing if you would like to get it from there. But people, I strongly recommend you definitely get this book. Mr. Utsler put in plenty of time into it. And as you know, this is truly a labor of love. This is something that he not only worked on previously for you all and put it out, he went back and made sure to update it, made sure to add in extra things, and even to be sure that things that may have possibly left room for someone to misinterpret his meaning, he made it a point to clarify that as well. So people, show your support, because anytime someone has been considerate enough of you to go through this much trouble to make sure that you are okay and that you really can understand what they are saying, and it's not just the amount of time that it takes and the amount of work that it takes to create a work, let alone to prepare that work and then to release that work. But for someone to literally go through that process 2 different times, and the main reason is because of you. Come on. That's love. And you definitely need to get you some of that. So why don't you go on Amazon right now, get you some Pura Vida by Mr. Jim Utsler, and it's going to be on and popping for you. That's JimUtslerPuravida. Grab up your copy right now. Now, listeners, I'm going to roll a few more songs for you. And Mr. Jim, thank you so much for your time. Mr. Utsler, you are truly a gem. You are truly a strong example for not only us Generation Xers, but also the baby boomers, the millennials, the Gen Zs. I mean, you really, are a stand-up person who like you admitted, you know that there is a certain entitlement or even a certain privilege that you've been able to enjoy that, yes, you do believe other people should be able to do so too. But yeah, it's going to take us all doing our part, and especially us making sure that those people close to us and whom we love are able to properly develop in the right ways that they need to as well. Thank you for all you do, and you're welcome to come back here at any time you please. Articulation Radio's floor, stage, mic, open to you anytime you'd like.
Thank you very much for your time.
If you are a savvy senior who's seeking a lifestyle club that's centered around you, visit sittingroom.xyz today. The Sitting Room, sittingroom.xyz, where savvy seniors socialize, get event invites, organize among themselves, as well as obtain merchandise and get engaged to create new things. The Sitting Room, sittingroom.xyz. Visit today.
Media Room 360 TV. Media Room 360 TV is a channel that has something for everyone, from world news, inspiration, programming for kids, politics, sports, technology, and entertainment. Media Room 360 TV has got you covered. Check out one of our shows today on Roku. Media Room 360 Internet Television on Roku. And if you need a speaker, head over to Media Room 360 Speakers at MediaRoom360.com. That's MediaRoom360.com.
You just heard the Stories Time Tales by More Than Family. And up next are The Things You Do by Wild Sun featuring Frida Winst and You're the One by Sven Carlson featuring Maja Novak.
Are you looking for grant writers, technical writers, creative writers, academic writers, any kind of writers? Head to the Writers Consortium. Their website, writersconsortium.us, www.writersconsortium.us.
Articulation Radio, thanks you so much for listening. So head on over right now to articulationmedia.club and let us know your thoughts on today's episode. In the meantime, we're going to keep the show rolling for you.
Would you like a motivational speaker to come to your company or organization to speak to your group? Visit lifespurposeministries.com. That's lifespurposeministries.com.
Weddings are expensive, but your love is worth it. Go to marryusnow.us to book the Minister of Love to officiate your wedding today. The fee is only $200 if your wedding is in the city of Chicago, and there's only a small fee to get the Minister of Love to travel outside of Chicago to your wedding location. Book the Minister of Love today. Visit marryusnow.us. That's marryusnow.us.
If you feel like it's real when I make your body shiver like an autumn leaf, I try to stay on my feet when you move a little closer to me. I can't breathe it. Your love is all I ever need. Taking me going. It's time to let you know how I feel. 'Cause you're be a part in my heart. There's a place where everything's about you. I don't know who could ever make me feel like you do. It's time to show you my love is true. 'Cause you're the one I dream about when I fall asleep. When I wake up in the morning, you're the first thing on my mind. There is no one else. Oh, baby, it's you. Yeah. And if I had another way to show you what my dreams are made of, I could somehow reach out to you, finally open the door. 'Cause you're the one I dream about when I fall asleep. When I wake up in the morning, you're the first thing on my mind. There is no one else. Oh, baby, you're the one I dream about when I fall asleep. When I wake up in the morning, you're the first thing on my mind. There is no one else. Ooh, you're the one I dream about when I fall asleep. When I wake up in the morning, you're the first thing on my mind. There is no one else. Oh, baby, you're the one I dream about when I fall asleep. When I wake up in the morning, you're the first thing on my mind. There is no one else. Oh, baby.
Want to buy stocks, jewels, real estate, or other high-end items? Would you love to be able to contribute to charitable initiatives but cannot do these things with the money you currently have? Join Regal City Investment and Social Club, where you can pool money each month with other investors to make major purchases, give to the needy, and possibly turn a profit. www.regalcity.xyz. Become a Regal citizen today by joining Regal City Investment and Social Club. regalcity.xyz.
Thank you so much for joining us today for this episode of Articulation Radio. There is no other reason why we do this other than you. We hope that you have enjoyed today's episode, that the information you received has been something you can immediately apply, as well as you have enjoyed this great music from independent artists from around the world. We also encourage you, if you have not already gone over to articulationmedia.club so that you can ensure your music, your ads, as well as your interview is scheduled. Be sure to do that right now. But in the meantime, thank you again for being a listener, but more importantly, be sure that you are a doer. Keep doing whatever it is that you are called to do. Make sure that you let nothing stop you. So in other words, keep making things happen, baby.